Hello world, it is Wednesday, July 19th, 2023, and looking out the window at Defiance. It's a beautiful blue sky, sunny morning, and relatively cool. It was in the low 60s this morning when I was out running, and I think it's going to be a beautiful day. The devotion for today is entitled Right at Home by Donna Shaper, and Donna bases her devotion upon Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 5, King James Version. Build ye houses and dwell in them, and plant gardens. And then Donna Shaper writes, some people have green thumbs, some people don't. My Jewish mother-in-law of blessed memory had a way with African violets. She also knew how to do donkey tail plants with elegant long tails, and she was pretty good at unique kinds of spiderworts. The day after she died, her African violet blossomed for 3 weeks in my dining room. She famously blessed me out one Good Friday Passover for having tarried too long at the Washington Cathedral's Good Friday and then visited Washington's famous cherry blossoms for too long. I arrived for the Passover meal right at dusk. With her hands on her hips as powerful as mine are now, she met me at the door. Where have you been? I've been worshiping and enjoying the cherry blossoms. Don't you know how late you are? No, I don't. I was sure Passover began at sunset. In our house, Passover begins with cocktails. Inez had a way of Inez had a way of knowing what was right for her house. She had built a house, planted a garden, and was dwelling in it. She belonged to what she did and the way she did it, where she did it. She was at home in her universe. I grow a pretty good African violet myself, and I have spiderworts about to take over my entire house, but I rarely feel at home the way she did. I just know that things change, and the only thing I know for sure is that they change. There is no one right time for Passover or for lingering in a cherry blossom days. And Donna Shaper's prayer. Help us, O God, to be at home in different times and places. Teach us how to be early and how to be late, and sometimes to be right on time. Amen. Well, lots of different things flowed through my mind when I was reading this devotion. And one of which is just taking the time to be in nature, to revel at creation, being outside, not hurrying, not just using the outside space to move from one place to another to do the next thing, but being present in the moment and relishing in God's creation. And that can even happen with houseplants if you're one of those people that can do that. Excuse me. I have a phone call that I don't want to take. It's a spam risk. Sorry about that. Just and houseplants too. I mean, some people just don't have green thumbs, but I happen to like houseplants. They add something living to a house, and I like to have those around. Maybe it reminds me of the outdoors when I can't get outdoors. Helps purify the air, and that sort of thing too. The other thing this devotion reminded me of is to not worry so much about time as much as being in the moment. Because so much of our time these days, it seems like, is so scheduled and overscheduled, and we're rushing from one place to another with little time to actually just be. And I think God's intention for creation was that we do have time just to be. And when we're just being, what greater worship can we give to God than in that moment? There may be other things in this devotion that strike you a different way, and that's okay. It's just my thoughts, and I hope it gives you something to think about too. And hope to talk to you again tomorrow.